The story I'd like to read to you is called Sylvester the Jester, and it's a book about accepting others. Sylvester the Jester. You've heard the tales from days of old, of famous queens and kings, of castles grand and questing knights, and other wondrous things. But have you heard the splendid tale of jolly old Sylvester? He lived in Bingland long ago, the king's finest jester. Do you know what a jester is? Somebody that likes to make other people laugh. Sylvester served the king and queen. He served them smiles and laughter. He juggled jugs and mugs and rugs and bowed politely after. So you can see he's definitely making the king laugh, isn't he? His greatest show came once a month, when every man and beast would gather on the castle lawn to join the royal feast. Oh, what a day of food and song! The knights played daring games. Sylvester made the rules, of course, and gave them silly names. A jousting match called tickle toss. You need a 10-foot feather and target topple archery. To win, you must be clever. Then, when at last the games were through, they gathered round the moat, and splash! They hopped in all at once to slosh and wash and float. You know that a moat is a ditch that they would dig around the outside of a castle and then fill it with water to make it more difficult for any bad characters to come across and get into the castle. This is how the royal feast was run by dear Sylvester, until one day he watched the crowd and something struck the jester. "Oh dear," he told the king and queen, "there's something awfully wrong. Those orange spotted bingles, see? They're strange. They don't belong." The king and queen stood up and stared, and instantly they both declared, "My boy, you're right. We must be spared. Please have them move along." And after that, a sign went up outside the castle wall. "No orange spotted bingles, please," it said. And that was all. How do you suppose that made those poor people feel? Not very good, I would expect. The royal feast soon came again. Sylvester watched the crowd, and spying something very odd, he spoke his mind out loud. "Oh, dearest queen, oh, grandest king, I notice now an awful thing. Those bingles there, with hair like string, with curly cues that sprout and spring. They're odd as owls without a wing. They ought not to be allowed. The king and queen forthright agreed, and so the castle sign decreed. No orange-spotted bingles, please. No curly-headed bingles, please. For everyone to read. Even that little girl. But she wonders why? Why? What's the reason? Sylvester now surveyed his feast. His puffed up pride was double. But when the king and queen looked down, he knew he was in trouble. "Sylvester," called the crooning king, "I fear I have bad tidings. The queen and I are quite displeased by all of these abidings. For there are bingles in this crowd with stout and skinny features. And naturally, we can't allow such odd, unhealthy creatures." Sylvester gazed upon his belt. His knees felt like jelly, because he knew that he was stout, especially around the belly. Oh, do you see he has a button that just popped off? So now Sylvester stood outside and read the castle sign. No orange-spotted bingles, please. No curly-headed bingles, please. No stout or skinny bingles, please. Then he shuffled down the hill and left his home behind. He didn't have a suitcase, did he? He just had to carry a few things in that little sack. A month had passed, or maybe 2, since he'd left the castle. Sylvester sat and moped and moaned, tugging on a tassel. Then out of nowhere, through the sky, there roared a streak of fire, a dragon spouting streams of smoke. It growled and glided higher. "It's heading for the castle walls," Sylvester gasped in fear. "The king and queen will both be trapped. What shall I do? Oh dear." And you can see that dragon is heading right for the castle. See the castle up there on the hill? Whoa. "It serves them right," snapped Sir Gawain, for he was orange-spotted. "Who needs their kind?" said Lady Lyd, and all the others nodded. And you see Lady Lyd has all those curly hairs that Sylvester thought were so terrible. The sky was now as black as soot, the castle lost in smoke. Sylvester struggled through the crowd, and angrily he spoke. "Listen, please, for I'm to blame. 'Twas I who told the king that orange spots and curly hair were not a normal thing. I'm sorry for this sad mistake, for I was very wrong. It isn't spots or skin or hair, but hearts that make us strong. Now here's our chance to show the king just what we have inside, and that a Bengal can't be judged by belly, hair, or hide. Now gather round, I have a plan. I think you'll find it keen. Together we can prove ourselves and save the king and queen. The dragon held the king and queen inside the banquet hall. He made them clean the cupboards bare while he devoured it all. He roasted rugs and chairs and stairs and piles of precious things. And now his fearsome, fiery eyes were glaring at the king and queen. Uh-oh. What's gonna happen? Through the door charged the archers and Sylvester, with the archers at his side. The dragon roared around to fight, and arrows hailed his hide. Oh, look. He's wondering what's going on. And do you see what he has in his hands? Or his paw, I guess. Don't know. I guess that's what you call a dragon's claws. He has a sandwich with the king and the queen in there. He was just getting ready to have them for his lunch. Oh my. Good thing Sylvester got there in time. Suction cups clamped up his mouth and blinded both his eyes. He writhed and rumbled round the room, scratching at the skies. Those suction cups were covering up his eyes so he couldn't see. Now the jousting knights appeared, their feathers at the ready. The dragon swung his scaly tail, but all the knights held steady. Oh, you see what they're doing? They're tickling him. They bore down on his ticklish toes, their skill so very clever. The dragon reeled away so fast, he did not feel the window blast. The castle walls went rumbling past, till splash, he struck the moat at last and quenched his fire forever. Oh, see, he fell out of the window into the moat, into the water, and that put out his fire. The king and queen were overjoyed. They hugged and kissed Sylvester. Oh, please forgive us, they implored. Come back and be our jester. From that day on, the king and queen made all the Bengals proud by putting up a sign that said, Bengals all allowed. So now everybody's welcome, and that's the way it should be. And at the royal feast, you'd see everyone in Bingdom, for everybody plays a part in making up the kingdom. See, even the dragon got to take part, didn't he? He learned his lesson too. Well, there's the story about Sylvester the Jester. It was a good one. I'll read another one again soon. Until then, bye-bye.